Super Bowl 52, one to remember forever. History in the books. The most combined yards in any game. Not just Super Bowl, guys. Any game in NFL history. The second most combined points in any Super Bowl. And only one punt. Only one sack in this entire game. Shout out to the offensive lines on both sides. Pretty amazing. Let's hear from Tom Brady after the loss.
Yeah, we had a good chance there, and they made a good play. They made a lot of good plays today, and we battled. It was competitive, but we just obviously didn't get the job done. When Brandon went out, everyone else needed to step up. Hogs had a great game. Danny played great. All the guys played well. We just came up short in the end. They played a good game. They played well offensively. Special teams there did a good job, and we moved the ball. I think red area was something that hurt us in the first half, but wish we'd have scored more points.
Tom Brady gets a loss. A quarterback to throw more than 500 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions has never lost a game. A game in NFL history. That is wild to me. He got sacked once. We're going to break down everything that you need to know with this game as we are still in Minneapolis for the next 4 hours. We've got coverage all day long here on NFL Network. Nate, there's a lot to chew on here. What's one thing that's sticking out to you right now?
The one thing I can appreciate about this game is that these guys have reinvented themselves. And the Patriots have been the Patriots for so long. They're always going to remain one of the more dominant teams in history. But it's the Eagles that I'm looking at. I'm looking at Nick Foles and what he's been able to do. We're familiar with the story in the past, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We're familiar with a short stint with the Chiefs and what he did there, coming back to the Eagles and then dominating after Carson Wentz goes down. Played unbelievable. The way he sat in that pocket was the most impressive thing I've seen. It's funny because as you were talking about the game and how great it was, in my head I'm thinking this is the GOAT. This game is the GOAT. This sport is the GOAT. The NFL, we are the GOAT of sports. But Nick Foles is the GOAT. And you look at what he's been able to do and where he's at. Every quarterback has highs and lows. The highs in his career could be better than 75% of the quarterbacks in the league.
That's a great point.
Amazing game.
All I heard about all week, or all I even talked about all week, was you can't give Belichick, McDaniels, and Patricia 2 weeks to prepare. The X factor here is that they do not lose when they have time to game plan. Doug Peterson ran circles around the greatest coach of all time last evening. Doug Peterson had the courage, and in what Frank Reich called the stones, to call a 4th and 1 handoff to Trey Burton, pass to Nick Foles for a touchdown when it all mattered. 4th and 1 from the 1 with 34 seconds left in the first half. And then a 4th and 1 in the fourth quarter goes to Zach Ertz on a shotgun play to keep the drive alive. I thought Doug Peterson, who, guys, when USA Today ranked all the coaches that were hired last year, it was McVay, it was a lot of these other guys. Doug Peterson, USA Today, all the writers voted the 7th coach hired, ranked out of 7. This year, there was a poll on another website. Let's rank the 1 to 32 coaches. Doug Peterson was ranked 32nd out of 32 coaches by that poll. Last night, Doug Peterson coached the greatest Super Bowl game of all time and out-coached not only Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels, and Matt Patricia. Doug Peterson last night was an absolute star, and to him, hats off. You don't get a lot of credit. You just coached one of the greatest coaching performances of all time.
First they write you off, and then they write about you.
That's how it works.
Right. You know what? A year ago, we had just gotten off the 28-3, and we were saying this morning, we were saying it was the craziest Super Bowl I've ever seen. I think this one was crazier in a way. I'm trying to piece what happened last night like I was on some kind of bender. I mean, there were 54 first downs in this game. Tom Brady threw for 500 yards. They didn't punt, and they lost. It was an absolutely insane triple espresso shot of a football game. Kay, what did we learn last night? We learned that you can't stop the feeling.
True.
You can't stop the passing.
True.
You can't stop the rushing.
Facts.
But you can beat the Patriots. An unbelievable, amazing moment for the Philadelphia Eagles, their staff, their players, their fans.
Amazing.
From start to finish, they took out, not the GOAT, the GOATs. And I'm stunned.
Brady had the ball with over 2 minutes left, Kyle, and it was everybody's take on Twitter. I was home. I wasn't at the game. I had left the game by that point, and I was like, here we go. You're giving him too much time, guys.
Yes.
Didn't work out. He's human. They beat him. The coaching was huge. My question is, where was the defense in this game? I love offense.
Right.
I love that more than anything, but why? Why is Malcolm Butler not out there? That to me is the question that I woke up scratching my head. I'm asking Nate what he thinks. Malcolm, you're allowing close to 400 yards through the air in this game. You've got to think that if he's out there and it's not Eric Rowe, and Eric Rowe's already come out and said that wasn't the game. I wasn't supposed to be out there starting. So clearly this happened either right before the game or during the game, or it wasn't part of the plan. I want to know what happened. That's going to be a question.
So many
It's going
layers.
to be infuriating because I don't know that we're ever going to find out the answer.
He's a Super Bowl hero and was sitting on the sideline.
It's crazy to me why he's not in
Literally
there.
won
All
them
right.
the game.